Hi everyone, welcome back to this channel on narcissism, narcissistic relationships, and healing from narcissistic relationships, as well as the myriad questions that come up. Today's question is going to be one that I don't think I have ever done a video on, and it's an interesting question, and it comes from somebody who writes, "My golden child sibling and parent both narcissistic collapse in the same day." What do I mean when I talk about golden child or even a narcissistic parent collapsing? I'm not talking about them having a psychotic break and perhaps becoming, institutionalized or something like that. It's like a pebble dropped into water. And in the case of the narcissistic family system, that ripple effect can include the narcissistic parent or parents. It could be that the golden grandchild stops worshiping the narcissistic grandparent. It could be that a narcissistic spouse stops catering to the narcissistic partner. And it's usually an indication that the golden child has finally recognized what the relationship with this narcissistic parent or parents is, and they re-out. They're done. This can be heartbreaking for other family members, particularly the scapegoated ones who may wish that the golden child would stick around to protect them or help them. Perhaps the scapegoat thinks that if they work harder, they can make sure that the golden child stays in the family system and continues to take care of everybody and do everything the narcissistic parent wanted them to do. Maybe they are caring for a sick parent or something else. Do you think I should leave too? The golden child may feel torn between wanting to explain their decision to leave, but it also presents an opportunity for the scapegoat to finally put their own oxygen mask on and figure out how to get out of this situation, too. Because the truth is, if the golden child couldn't hack it, it's unlikely that the scapegoat is going to fare much better in the long term. And also not wanting to get pulled back into the narcissistic family system. The golden child may respond to the scapegoat in one of three ways. 1. Don't leave. I'll come back and save you. Don't worry, I got this. You stay there and keep them happy. I'll fix it. This is unlikely, especially if the golden child has truly gone no contact. 2. You need to leave. I tried to tell you so many times that it wasn't working. It wasn't healthy. You had to get out. This is more likely if the golden child has gone no contact. And 3. I'm not sure why I left, but I know I had to do it. I'm sorry that I haven't been able to help you more. The golden child may not be willing to go into the reasons why they've left, and that may frustrate the scapegoat. But the scapegoat needs to trust that the golden child made the right decision for themselves and that the scapegoat needs to do what's right for themselves. The scapegoat may also fear retaliation from the narcissistic parent or parents. Will they be cut off completely if the scapegoat tries to pull away? Will they be blamed for the golden child leaving? There's a lot of difficult issues that come up when the golden child leaves. Or maybe the scapegoat hopes that the golden child will come back so that the scapegoat can get a break from the abuse. But that's not the role the golden child is willing to play anymore. And it's important for the rest of the family to respect that. In any of those cases, we tend to see the narcissistic person experience what is called narcissistic collapse. If the scapegoat is still in the picture, they may think, why did the golden child leave? What did I do? Was I not enough? Meanwhile, the narcissistic parent or parents are experiencing their own confusion and sense of loss and are lashing out in various ways. But now without the golden child there to help carry it. That's when the scapegoat needs to recognize that the golden child is not coming back, and it's time for them to find a way to lighten their load and step away from the narcissistic family system as well. But this is not easy to do, particularly if the scapegoat has been gaslighted by the narcissistic parent or parents into thinking that they are the ones who are the problem in the family. All of this can feel really confusing to the scapegoat, who may start questioning whether or not they are the problem in the family dynamic. It may manifest as increased agitation, more rage, more paranoia, more sense of victimization, more confusion, more impulsivity. We may see the narcissistic person lash out at others in new and different ways. And in some cases, we may see really troubling behaviors that the narcissistic person wasn't engaged in before. It's almost as if they are untethered and without the validation they once received from the golden child or someone else. They just don't know how to regulate themselves. Now, If the narcissistic parent or parents were counting on the golden child for validation, admiration, adoration, enabling, or just for being the one who was always there and would never say no, then it can feel devastating for the narcissist to have the golden child say, "I'm out." And I know how devastated the golden child can feel when the golden child walks away. The narcissist can become disoriented, confused, even enraged. Like, why is my golden child not doing these things for me? Why aren't people praising me? Why isn't everybody catering to me? Why is nobody telling me how great I am? And of course, the narcissist feels entitled to that. The problem is the narcissist isn't entitled to that. But when it stops, the narcissist will often become increasingly agitated. And the reason for that is they are no longer getting supply, validation, and adoration from the person that they would normally get it from. Although that could certainly happen, I am instead referring to what we see much more commonly in therapy with people who come in and say, "I'm a golden child and my parents are narcissists," which is that the golden child was functioning very well for the family system and then something happens and the golden child does not continue to function in that way. And because of the narcissistic constellation of the family system, the narcissistic parent may actually also be impacted by that. The family was blindsided by this and they are now seeking help. What can we expect? So what happens when the golden child or even a narcissistic parent collapses? Let's break that down. So first of all, let's start with a little bit of clarification. And so here's what I mean by the golden child collapsing. The golden child who has been functioning in many ways is the emotional and psychological enabler for the family, whatever that means, either because maybe they have been the favorite or the preferred child, perhaps because they were the only child and therefore have to enable the parents, or whatever the case may be. They just don't show up for the family anymore. They set boundaries with the family. They stop taking their calls. They stop rescuing their siblings. They stop being the buffer between the parents and their other children or the scapegoat. Basically they go, no mas. And in some cases, if the golden child is an adult, they may even cut contact completely. Now, when that happens, there's often a sort of a ripple effect. Now, this can also happen in other permutations. It doesn't always have to be the golden child. The golden child walking away or not showing up is essentially a form of boundary setting. This pattern of the golden child leaving and the ripple effect it has on the narcissistic parent or parents can leave the remaining family members feeling quite confused and, perhaps even more scapegoated. It's not uncommon for the scapegoat to feel that the golden child has abandoned them and to wonder if maybe they should keep trying harder to please the narcissistic parent or parents, or maybe try to win over the golden child who has left the family system. In essence, when the golden child leaves, the scapegoat is left holding the bag again, as they've been doing all along. The scapegoat may want to stay in hopes of repairing things, or maybe they have nowhere else to go. Perhaps they are still financially dependent on the family. If the scapegoat is still in contact with the golden child, they may ask the golden child, "Why did you leave? Is it my fault that you left?" When the golden child leaves, it's like the rug gets pulled out from under the entire narcissistic family system and the scapegoat may bear the brunt of it. Thanks again.